Hello everyone, it's Veronica and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about middle grade books, specifically middle grade series, and these are some of my favorite series to this day, even as a non-middle grade age. I still love these middle grade books because they are fantastic, and I feel like although they are meant for middle grade, I still enjoy them and will still enjoy them as a young adult, and I still love them till this day and continue to enjoy it. I have no complaints to any of them except for one series, but I think when I get to that series I will talk about it more. The first series I want to talk about is probably something I will forever talk about in this channel, and it is Percy Jackson series by Riordan. To this day, it is still my favorite series. I love the universe. I love Percy. I love Annabeth. I love Grover, and I don't know why. I love them so much. It's just the way Riordan wrote this series. I think it just really connected with me when I started reading this, and it made me really connect with them to this day. And I still have no complaints to this series on the characters, the universe, the plots, and everything. It's just amazing. And if you have not picked this up, you definitely should, because it is so great for middle grade, and even as an adult or a young adult like me, I think it is great to pick up for just a nice chill read, a relaxing read that you want to, maybe you've been in a slump and you want to pick up something small and light. This is the way to go. And also, these middle grades, their fonts are relatively big, so I wouldn't worry about length. Although they might look thick, it's pretty short, and I still love them, and they're really enjoyable. I first read this maybe when I was 6 or 7 or 8. I don't know why it really stuck to me. It just stuck to me to this day, and I think it's mainly because I've always felt really connected to the Greek mythology. And I don't mean connected, but I've really fell in love with Greek mythology from a young age, which is why I fell in love with this series in the first place. The style Riordan writes in is really enjoyable and something anyone can enjoy, because his writing suits perfectly for middle grade. It's so laughable. There's some hard times, sad times, but all in all, good times. And that brings me to a Panic at the Disco. I do want to show you guys some really cute annotations I did. They're hilarious, and what is wrong with my handwriting as a child? I just love the funny aspects to the story. I love the way Riordan does all these funny chapter titles. It always amuses me. I just want to pause a little bit, because why did I use a green pen to write on pink paper? And I also managed to use pink pen on pink paper. What? I absolutely love this book, and I think I've read this multiple times. I don't even know how many times I reread this. But this is an all ages series for real. This is such a great series, and if you haven't checked this out yet, I do suggest you do, because it's so great. And if you are a younger viewer and you were having second thoughts, don't have second thoughts, check it out right away. You will love it. And if you don't love it, comment down below. I would love to hear what maybe you didn't like about it. Just anything about the Percy Jackson series that you loved or you hated. This channel has an open mind to anything. I love hearing any of your thoughts, so comment down below what you guys thought about the Percy Jackson series. The next series I want to talk about is Keeper of the Lost Cities by Shannon Messenger. And I actually recently started reading this series maybe a year or two ago, because my friend recommended me the series. This series I fell in love with. At first I was like kind of skeptical, but I really enjoyed the series. I love the world building with it. I love the magic system, the universe, the various species. It's crazy, and there are just some times where I was just like in love with each of the characters. We have our main characters, Sophie, Keith, and Fitz. They're just a weird trio, but a weird, chaotic, messy, but lovable trio that I love so much. Each character has their own traits, their own differences, and their own magic as well, and I really loved that about the series, because as someone who is not middle grade, not meant for this series age-wise, I still enjoyed this, and I think anyone could easily enjoy this series. It's incredible to see how well developed Shannon Messenger really goes in depth with these magic traits, and it's incredible to read, and even just enjoying the way the plot fits in it, and the plot twists are insane. They're everywhere. They're the best. I would 10/10 recommend this for any middle graders out there. For real, I still need to read the most recent book. If you haven't checked this out, I do recommend it. The next series I want to talk about is something I was kind of on, not the first book, but just in the future books, and it is The Chronicles of Nick by Sherrilyn Kenyon. The first book is Infinity, and I read this book when it came out, and then I stopped reading this until last year, the end of last year, when I got all the books and I read it all together. I really loved the first few books, but then it came towards the ending, and I was like, on. I didn't fully enjoy the endings, the last few books, but I did enjoy the first few books. And even though I didn't like it, I still would recommend this series to any middle graders out there who are watching this video, mainly because it deals with vampires, werewolves, weird monsters in this book, and it's incredible. And Nick is, what is he, like 14, 15, I think, in this book. It's based in New Orleans, and I think so far in the first book, it's really interesting. I love the monster aspect to it, and I think it's insane how such a small town like New Orleans, in this specific series, New Orleans is real tiny, like extra tiny, and how a lot of things can happen in this. The different universes and the different characters it spirals off into is also great. I would honestly read this series, the whole series, for its universe, for its world building, and for the different myths and monsters that this series brings to it, because the monsters, some of them are not even anything I've heard of, and some of the language are well developed. It's incredible how Sherrilyn Kenyon really develops all these crazy ancient stories and tales that she puts into this series. I did enjoy it. I did give, I think the whole series out of total, I gave it a 4, even a 3.5 really. To me, I think maybe it's, I didn't enjoy the last few books because I got old of it and I wasn't as invested as I wish I was, but if you're around the middle grade age, I would recommend this book because I did enjoy it. This, I feel like, is specifically middle grade only, or even young teen only. I don't think I would ever foresee myself in the future to really pick this book up. I would recommend any middle graders out there to check this book out still, to check this series out because it was great. The next series I want to talk about is Lockwood and Co series by Jonathan Stroud, which basically deals with child ghostbusters. Is that even a thing? I don't even know. It deals with these children based in London who formed their own company, specifically Anthony Lockwood, and he forms his own ghost-busting company, and this trio, which is Lucy, Anthony, and George, who fight ghosts on their own and have to deal with this rival company that is actually run by adults. The one thing that you really see is just kind of children taking lead in their own company, which is what Anthony does. It's interesting because children are the only one who can see ghosts, and they're trying to fight these ghosts and stop them from, they're not taking over, but just stop them from damaging London, which is where this is based on, and hurting more people. And so Anthony, Lucy, and George have to stop these ghosts from, and they have to do this before another rival company does it before them. And it's incredible because I loved the horror aspect to it. It's like a gentle horror. Is that even a thing? I don't even know, but it's like gentle horror, and it's great for one of those light reads that you want to just, it's like a thriller, and it's really nice. It's perfect for middle grade because they're around the middle grade age. Anthony, Lucy, and George, they're around like 12 or 13 or even younger. I don't actually know their age. It doesn't mention on the back. This series is great because the different ghost stories, the different ghost busting stories that is told within each of the books in the series is so interesting. They deal with different problems, and the backstories of the ghosts they're hunting is interesting and intense, and as someone who read it past middle grade age, I actually really enjoyed this. And I am not at all a horror person. I'm totally the opposite. I don't read horror, but this one was an enjoyable horror. Is it even a horror? I really don't know, but it's definitely a thriller for children, for middle age specifically, and I really enjoyed it. Each character is really quirky and interesting in their own way, and they're British and they're all very proper, and they're all children except for the company advisors who are all adults, because you know children are the only ones who can see these ghosts. So this like interesting Ghostbusters story, I really do recommend this series. It's so interesting. Alright guys, if you guys enjoyed this middle grades recommendation, comment down below and give it a thumbs up. If you guys liked any of these recommendations, comment down below what you guys maybe, do you guys want to read this? Are you guys a young adult like me? Do you guys want to still read these? Do you want to pick Percy Jackson up back again? My answer for myself is yeah, I do. And if you're in middle grade, did you guys like any of these recommendations? Have you read any of these books? And if you have, comment down below what are your favorite things? And also for any middle graders out there, what are your favorite book series, and comment down those below. I'm sure there are other middle grade readers out there watching this video who do want some more recommendations. So if you got more, comment those down below, because we would all really love to hear it. Also for any young adults or older teens like me who do have some recommendations, comment down those below, because I think the good thing about these recommendations is any recommendation is welcome. But specifically for this video, let's keep it only to middle grade, which it will be amazing. And what did you guys like about this video? Do you guys like any of these series, or do you not like any of these series? Comment down those below. We would love to hear them all. Alright guys, give this video a thumbs up. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and remember to hit the red subscribe button, and I will see you guys all next time. Bye!